In this video, I am going to reveal one major truth about relationships that you may have not heard of before. And then I'm going to also share 3 different things that you can do right now to utilize this truth to your advantage that will also help nurture your relationships. And this truth is guaranteed to trigger some of you, but it is pivotal to understand this truth in order to have healthy relationships. So come forest bathe with me while I reveal this truth. So if you're in a relationship and recently your partner did something or said something and it triggered you, you had an immediate emotional response to it, but at the same time, you know that they didn't say this or do this thing to get a reaction out of you. Maybe they were just being completely themselves, and maybe they thought that your reaction was a bit overboard, too much. Maybe they even use the C word, crazy. I've been there. Drop a heart in the comments if you've ever experienced this before. I want you to think about what your immediate thought process was in that moment. Did you blame them for your reaction? Be very honest here. There's no wrong answer. There's not even a wrong reaction. I used to blame the other person personally before I knew what I know now. And for anyone here who immediately blamed their partner for quote unquote causing them to have this reaction, I'm going to be brutally honest and tell you that it wasn't their fault. Here's the truth. Relationships are mirrors. Your partner is at some point going to show you something that you have not addressed or healed yet from your past. So what do I mean by this? When we get triggered by something, it's not random. Your emotional response is your body's way of screaming at you, hey, they hit the bullseye, look into this. Because our reactions are always about us, not the other person. And this was a huge reality check for myself when I realized this. Think about it this way. Let's say you fell and you broke your leg, but instead of going to a doctor, you just ignored it. What is going to happen to your leg? It's not going to heal correctly. And then maybe going forward, it's going to hurt when you run or play sports or are active. Now, would you blame the sport for hurting your leg? No, right? That wouldn't make any sense. Because others that don't have an old injury that causes pain can play the game without the pain. So the same goes for childhood experiences, traumas, micro traumas, things that happened in our past that we may not have fully dealt with, healed from, or felt all the feelings that we needed to feel from them so that that experience can have some sort of closure. Think about it as like a loop. Something happened, there was an emotional response, but if you didn't finish feeling everything that you needed to feel, it's an open-ended loop. And it's going to be there and it's going to sit there. So when you're triggered, your body is literally telling you, hey, there's something in this arena, something linked to this situation, something somebody said that we haven't fully dealt with. And now it's like your partner is poking that old wound, more than likely unknowingly, because our reactions, they're always about us. And if your partner is mirroring something from your past that hurt, your body's going to react. Because a fully healed trauma is not going to evoke a heavy emotional reactive response. So now what do we do? So when we have these moments of reactivity, if we can practice holding back from lashing out, giving into that reaction that came up, and instead we pause and reflect on what just happened and ask ourselves, what is this showing me? What is this situation mirroring from my past? We find the old wound, and then we can utilize these next 3 steps. So step one, we want to feel whatever comes up. Maybe let's take an abandonment wound, for instance. If we never allowed ourselves to cry and feel all the heavy emotions that evoked, we can do it now. It's never too late to feel what we never allowed ourselves to feel in the past. Feeling is so underrated. Feeling is literally the pathway to being able to release the old pain. It helps to end the loop. Think of crying, for an example. When you're hurting and you allow yourself to cry, don't you feel better afterwards? The same goes for any other feeling. And then step two, we want to validate our feelings. Your feelings are valid. There are reasons for why you feel the way you feel. If you were abandoned in childhood, you were right for feeling hurt and angry. So never make our feelings wrong. Allow what comes up to come up and be felt. But validate that what you're feeling is valid. And then thirdly, we want to calmly communicate this with our partner. It's going to take practice to get to a point where you can take that pause instead of reacting. So if you do end up reacting, you want to communicate why you reacted the way you did once you sit and reflect and find, that old wound. What was it about what they said or did? Why did it trigger you? We want to communicate that. And once you take the time to figure out what it was from, communicating this with your partner is going to help them understand why you reacted the way you did. And by opening this channel of communication, it will also give them permission to talk about their own reactivity or feelings, hence strengthening the bond instead of destroying it. So triggers can become our friends. It's a message for how we can grow and heal. And if used in this manner, it can also help grow our relationships. So if this video helped you understand yourself a little better and you're interested in going deeper, I created a free community over on School that I will link in the description. It's a safe place for us to connect and ask questions and go deeper into these topics. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.